Hong Kong is drowning in bullets, and one cop is about to go to war against an entire criminal empire. Not for glory, not for revenge, but because the city has become a battlefield, and nobody else is willing to pull the trigger. This is Hard Boiled, the movie that turned gunfights into pure chaos and made one detective look like death walking through fire. And trust me, before this story ends, loyalty will shatter, bodies will drop, and the line between cop and criminal will completely disappear. Inspector Tequila Yuen walks into a quiet tea house, expecting a routine surveillance operation. But hidden inside the building is an arms deal between ruthless gangsters. The second the criminals realize the police are watching, the entire place explodes into violence. Tables flip, glass shatters, shotguns erupt across the room. And right in the middle of the chaos, Tequila doesn't retreat. He charges forward, while everyone else dives for cover. This man walks straight into flying bullets with nothing but instinct and pure aggression. But the victory comes with a terrible cost. His partner is killed during the operation. And suddenly, this isn't just another case anymore. Now it's personal. Hong Kong's underground weapons trade is growing fast. Illegal guns are flooding the streets. And behind it all is a brutal crime boss who treats human lives like disposable ammunition. The police department is desperate. Every raid fails. Every lead disappears. And somehow the criminals always stay one step ahead. But Tequila refuses to let it go. Even after losing his partner, he keeps digging deeper into the underworld. Because he knows something bigger is happening behind the scenes. Something far more dangerous than a simple gang war. Meanwhile, another killer enters the story. Calm, silent, deadly. A hitman named Alan. Unlike the other gangsters, Alan isn't reckless. He's precise. Every move feels calculated. Every word feels controlled. But something about him feels different. During violent operations, he hesitates when innocent people are in danger. And in a world filled with monsters, that hesitation becomes suspicious. Soon, both the criminals and the police begin questioning him. Who is he really? And why does he seem more interested in stopping bloodshed than causing it? As the investigation continues, Tequila begins crossing paths with Alan during multiple deadly encounters. At first, they see each other as enemies. Every meeting turns into a storm of bullets and destruction. But slowly, Tequila starts realizing that Alan may not be what he seems, because hidden beneath the cold expression is a man trapped between two worlds, a man risking his life every single day inside one of the most violent criminal organizations in the city. And the deeper Alan goes undercover, the more impossible escape becomes. One mistake means death. One wrong sentence means torture. One moment of weakness, and his cover is finished forever. The criminal organization begins collapsing from internal betrayal. Old alliances break apart. Paranoia spreads everywhere. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. And soon, gangsters start killing each other before the police even arrive. Warehouses become execution grounds. Meetings become ambushes. Every conversation feels like a trap waiting to explode. Meanwhile, Tequila grows more reckless by the day. He ignores orders. He destroys property. He chases suspects with almost suicidal determination, because grief has turned him into something terrifying. A cop who no longer fears death. As violence consumes the city, the action becomes completely relentless. Cars crash through crowded streets. Gunfights erupt in public places. Explosions light up entire buildings. And somehow, Tequila always charges directly toward the danger instead of away from it. But beneath all the chaos, the movie keeps asking one question. How far can someone go before they lose themselves completely? Because every character in this story is being pulled toward darkness. The cops bend the law, the criminals betray each other, and survival becomes more important than morality. Nobody leaves untouched. Eventually, Tequila and Alan are forced into an uneasy alliance. Not because they trust each other, but because they finally realize the real enemy is much bigger than both of them. Still, the tension never disappears. Every interaction feels dangerous. One wrong move and they could easily turn their guns on each other. But despite everything, a strange respect begins forming between them. Because both men are exhausted, both men are carrying guilt, and both are fighting a war that seems impossible to win. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The criminal organization prepares a massive operation connected to a hospital, a place filled with innocent civilians, doctors, nurses, patients, people completely unprepared for the violence that's about to arrive. Tequila realizes the situation could become a massacre if they fail, and Alan understands that his undercover identity is hanging by a thread. The pressure becomes unbearable, because now, they're not just fighting for justice anymore. They're fighting to prevent total catastrophe. As the tension reaches its breaking point, every secret starts collapsing at once. The gangsters become more desperate. The police close in, and trust disappears completely. Tequila prepares for one final confrontation. Alan stands at the edge of exposure, and the city itself feels moments away from erupting into complete chaos. But that is where the story pauses, because what happens next turns into one of the most explosive finales in action movie history. And honestly, few films have ever matched the sheer intensity of what comes after. Hard Boiled wasn't just another action movie. It became a blueprint for modern gun-fu cinema. Slow motion, dual pistols, explosive shootouts, emotional chaos. Everything came together to create pure cinematic adrenaline. And decades later, this movie still feels like a war zone caught on camera.